It's now time for Monster Soup with your really fun at parties host, Dave Spencer, and his level-headed co-host, Brian McKinney. These dudes will explore all the crazy mysteries roaming our forest and deserted hallways. After all, monsters are real. It's Monster Soup time right now. Get it while it's hot. And now your hosts, Dave and Brian.
Hello. Welcome to Monster Soup, to the conversation with misfits, cryptids, and these kids. I am David Spencer, your golden retriever host, and on the streets they call him Buffalo Biscuits, but we call him Brian McKinney. What's up, buddy?
Welcome. Get it while it's hot. It's our
Buffalo Biscuits.
Our first annual pre-Thanksgiving soiree.
Yeah. So this one's called the Sweatpants Special. We're keeping it loose. We're keeping it comfy. We're just hanging out. We're just talking. We'll talk about weird stuff, but we're just talking. Yeah. So this is a pre-recorded. If you usually join us live, so we apologize if you notice that we're not in the chat. That's why we will try to be in there, just talking amongst yourselves. But as far as us actually being there, you're listening to this as a pre-record. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough directly into the mic. Clear my throat. I should have turned away. Who doesn't love that? But yeah, so it's Thanksgiving weekend. And I have decided this year that I might just only eat sides. I was just like, I don't like ham. I mean, like, it's okay. It's an okay meat. I don't like turkey. Like, again, it's an okay meat. But like, I love mashed potatoes and I love stuffing so much.
I'm the same way. It's like all the sides, I'm all about it. But turkey, it's like, it's okay. I mean, I eat it because it's Thanksgiving and that's what generally everybody cooks. The only turkey I've ever had that I really loved was like a nice, like a deep fried turkey, which was just absolutely like out of this world. But I just assume have chicken or ham or something else,
Yeah. Like or like I was brisket or like a barbecue. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like that would go better with the stuffing and the like the gravy and stuff anyway. Like, or just put barbecue sauce on it instead of gravy.
At work today, we kind of had the same conversation, and one of the guys, he's like, his family's always just kind of done. They smoke meat and barbecue and do stuff like that. None of them are big turkey fans, but. So they do that, and some of the sides are even more a little barbecue style than your traditional Thanksgiving. They do kind of mix in, some traditional as well. But it's like, why, why not? Why does it have to be that?
I know. I feel like we're like built on tradition, and like the ability to like break those traditions is just so like, when I was a kid, we ate turkey. It's like, you know what? You don't have to. Like, you don't have to do anything you don't. Like at the end of this, we're all dead. So you can literally just have mashed potatoes only, and no one should bat an eye. Like you'd be like, listen, I got my plate, I'm good. No, I don't want your dry turkey meat. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy what I really came here for, which is the stuffing, the gravy, and the mashed potatoes. Right. I just saw something the other day that was like this lady talking about the what is it? Nutritional information of stuffing. You're just like, it's so bad for you, and I'm just like, I can't stress this enough. I have this like 2 times a year. Just let me have my stovetop stuffing. I don't care if there's like flakes of like drywall in it. I'm still gonna eat
it. I mean, it's like the one day where you're allowed to just glutton and just eat whatever you want, and nobody like belittles you for it, and you don't even feel bad about it because you're like, this is what I'm supposed to do today. I'm supposed to pass out on the couch afterwards, fall asleep, watch some football or whatever, and I have no obligations other than just to hang out, with my family or whatever.
And my kids are a little older now, so it's not like locked in that you have to be like, what are you doing? You have to follow them around. Oh, it's the good stuff. I just want to actually, I think the perfect Thanksgiving would just be to like go hoss mode, put like a really good movie on, and just like build a Lego set. Like that would be like 10 for me, like 10 out of 10. Just like, and then like halfway through just give up because I'm dedicated too much and just like take a hard nap and then like wake up and maybe do a little more, or just like, I don't know. That'd be awesome.
Mhm.
Action movies and
just
that.
football games, movies. I mean, when we were kids, it was like there was always 2 football games on, but now there's like 3. There's a night game. It's pretty much like from like noon or 1 until 10 o'clock at night. It's just straight NFL, which I'm all about that. But I mean, it's like it's nice because I get irritated that the Christmas season starts pretty much at like July 4th. It's like it skips Labor Day, it skips Halloween. Thanksgiving just gets scooted over. It's like just the one day, but it's like it is. Once Thanksgiving dinner's over, it's like okay, now we're on to Christmas. So it's like you kind of get we're moving along to the next season, even though we're really kind of in between seasons at this point.
Yeah, I know. I've already been trying to like think of what to buy. Like everybody. I'm like, all right, what does this season look like? What am I purchasing? Like trying to fill up an Amazon cart and be like, is it this? Whatever. And I just
then you immediately get the idea of, oh crap, how am I going to pay for all this stuff?
I know. Yeah. Then you're like,
I've got like 4 weeks to get this together for Christmas now.
Oh my gosh, it's so stressful. Like, why do we do this to ourselves? Again, we're just like built off of I mean, obviously, like the reason why I wish just like at a certain point, just like, listen, you're all adults, get your own presents. Like, I'm gonna focus on my family. And you're 27. I'm sure you can find something for yourself. I don't need to get you like the what is it? The Marvel themed Codenames game. Just because I was like, I heard you like this. Here is this.
Yeah, we kind of did that a few years ago, with my nieces and nephews. It was like we're getting them stuff, but like I used to get stuff for my brothers, and they'd get stuff for us, and it was like we're all just kind of like passing around the same money. Yeah, so it's like let's just get stuff for the kids, and now even the kids are all the youngest is still a couple years away from driving, but they're all teenagers at this point,
Yeah,
and so it's like you just hand them some money. You're up to the important part of just spending time with your family.
Yeah,
it's not so much about the gifts or anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean my daughter doesn't even really like play with toys. She never has ever since she's a kid, and then my son just wants video games, so that's just kind of how we try to figure it all out. And they're like, all right, how do we negotiate this? What does this look like? And then my wife is just a hard cookie to crack when it comes to like what she wants. She's like, I don't know, jeans. And I'm like, I'm not gonna get you jeans. Like that sounds like a nightmare. She's also just like not interested in anything. Like she doesn't have like a through line. Honestly, I've been saying this. For boys, for guys, it doesn't matter. Get them a lightsaber. Do they already have a lightsaber? Get them another lightsaber.
Exactly. It doesn't matter how old they are.
Yeah,
everybody wants a lightsaber
or something remote controlled. Like, like literally, they're always fun. They're always cool. Like even if they have 12 of them, they're like, I got another one.
Yeah.
If you can hike it up and get them like a really expensive one, that you've won Christmas. Like, like ask any of them. Like if they're not into Star Wars, even if you're not into Star Wars, I feel like there's still something cool about having a lightsaber. You're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, just the sounds it makes, the way it looks, everything about it. And I mean, who's not into Star Wars? Come on. What's going on in your life if you're not into Star Wars?
Get it together. Be a kid. We don't grow up. We just grow old. That's it.
That's right.
So yeah. Did I already say this sweatpants special? Yeah, I did. So yeah, put your sweatpants on. Have some food. I'm having a cocktail. I've actually made this thing for our soup group last week. And I want to say it's called a Giraldi, but I don't remember right now. I had the whole card made up about what it was about. It's way too bitter. It's like it tastes like grapefruit, which I didn't realize when I made it. And I was like, I don't like grapefruit, but now I have this entire picture of it. So
picture of grapefruit,
So now I'm just like powering through it. Not powering through it, it still tastes good. It's just very sweet, which is usually not my jam. But I've been cutting it with some soda water to keep it nice and fluffy. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say you need the sweatpants special. It reminds me of our friend Joe, who refers to sweatpants and the like as soft pants. Then he always he always gets upset when his wife says, "Hey, we have to go here somewhere," and he's like, "Do I have to put on hard pants? I only want to wear soft pants. I'm in a stage of my life where it's nothing but soft pants," and it always cracks me up every time. Soft pants. It's like any form of like athletic wear, it's like, it's soft pants, but
Like,
no hard
again,
jeans or hard pants, you can't wear hard pants.
Yeah, it's like, again, what are we doing? Like, we don't have to do any of this stuff. I actually just saw a thing this week that was just like, it showed the Earth, and it started just slowly zooming out, and then you get to like the edge of our galaxy, and that just gets smaller, and then you gather all these galaxies, and it keeps gathering and gathering and gathering, and you just like have it's just gets smaller. You're basically just pushing back, and it's just like. And you're like, oh, we are literally nothing. We're not even a thought. Like the universe is like, we're not a hair on the universe's back, like at all. It's just kind of like,
Meanwhile, we're sitting here wondering if we have to put on hard pants to go to work or something.
I know.
Meanwhile, we're so insignificant.
I know. It's just like, just wear the soft pants. No one cares. And honestly, no one does. Like, I don't think I've ever gone anywhere unless you just dress like Oscar the Grouch somewhere. I think like 99% of the time, no one cares what you're wearing. There's like certain situations where I was like, maybe don't wear a brown shirt to a wedding, but like,
definitely certain things should be more. And if you work somewhere where you're like customer facing people and stuff, I think even that it's kind of dress appropriate kind of a thing. You wouldn't want to necessarily be wearing pajamas or something. But do you really need to be in a suit and tie? Probably not. No. Especially nowadays, because it's not like you and I, if we walk in, we're like, oh, we're not going to do banking with this person because they're not wearing a suit and tie,
Yeah, I know. There's
what's your return on my investment? That's what I care about.
And honestly, does anybody look good in a tie who isn't like, I don't know, a model? Like, every time I see somebody in a tie, I'm like, you look uncomfortable. Like, I never think professional unless they have that like tight suit situation going on where you're like, they look like they got it tailored, which I've always wanted to do, but like I can't do it now because I feel like I want to grow out of this body that I have now. I want to be, a little tighter. So like, but every time you see that, you're like, man, that looks really good. You just like, no, you wouldn't look like that.
Yeah, you're like, I want to get that. And then you're like, I would never fit in that.
Yeah. There's actually this thing I saw. It was like talking to the girls, and it was just like, hey, girl, that dress you saw? It looks good on her. It looks good on her. Not you. It looks good on her. Yeah. I was like, dude, I've fallen into that trap so many times. I keep like fighting the urge to not buy stuff I've seen on TikTok, like clothing wise. I'm like, I know that coat's not gonna look like that on me. That dude looks like a different dude. He's much taller than me. But I'm still like, but I really want that sweater. I don't know. I'm fighting the urge, man. What are you gonna do? I'm a consumer.
I know, man. All we could do is do the best we can and try to fight the good fight. That's all. Yeah. That's all I'm trying to do. Just hang in there and not have a heart attack this week,
Yeah. So with that in mind, I want to start with our first I prepared a couple things. So first I want to talk about weird birds because it is the season of the bird. So stupid. Share screen. Where we at? Let's do entire screen. Oh, that's what my notes are. I don't want to show you guys those. Sit behind the curtain in a way I don't enjoy. Oh no.
That's gonna take a minute. I got a kind of a fun bird story for you.
Oh, go nuts.
So years ago, when my wife were dating, we went to the zoo, and at our local zoo here in the Cleveland area, they had this little bird sanctuary, and behind it, you kind of went up on this little bridge, and you were maybe like 8 to 10 feet off the ground, but you could, see the birds on the ground, and then it went up real high, and they could fly around and stuff, and inside of it was bald eagles and some big hawks, and it seemed like pterodactyls. I mean, there was some pretty big birds in there. And my wife, I don't remember if she went off to go to the restroom or something, but I ended up just going up, and I'm watching the birds, and this little kid comes up who's like 8 years old, and I don't know where his parents were because he just walked right up, and he's standing right next to me, and this bridge is it's probably like 50 feet long, and he literally comes right up next to me like he's my son or something, and we're both just looking at the birds. We're not even speaking to each other, and then all of a sudden we realize it's feeding time, and the zoo workers just literally open up the cage door and throw in a bunch of like live chickens. And the birds are kind of scattered up, at the top, back in their little nests. They're just they're not really out like walking around or anything. They're kind of just doing their thing. And then all of a sudden they see that the chickens have showed up. And in like 1 second, these birds just flew down, and it was just like a puff of feathers and blood. It was like the chickens exploded, and there was just blood and feathers everywhere. And I turned and looked at this little kid, and he looked up at me like he needed some sort of father figure in his life to explain to him what just happened. And I was like, that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. Like these are, they're birds of prey, and you see them and it's like, oh, look, that bald eagle, it's beautiful and all this. But it's like if you never really seen them do their thing, their thing is not cute at all.
At all.
It is very violent. And I just, and then now, like every other time I go to the zoo, and they still kind of have that thing, but the bridge is gone. But like you see the birds in there, and every now and again I'll see just like little white, or some chicken feathers on the ground, and I'm like, I know what happened here earlier today. It was literally just blood splatter. But the look on this kid's face, he was just like total shock. Like I needed to explain the ways of the world to him after seeing that, because he's like, look at the cute little birds, and then it was just like straight carnage. It was, I'll never forget that. One of my favorite zoo stories of all time.
Which was it, the Cleveland Zoo?
Yeah.
That rules. Oh man. Yeah. I feel like I had that situation. I don't remember what it was. I'm trying to think of right now. I don't know. Yeah. I remember going to the zoo and there was those big it was some weird, like, kind of crazy bird, but it was up above everybody, and somebody got crapped on, and like I'm standing right there and they're just like covered in crap, and I was like, oh no. And then I looked down at the floor. It had been doing that forever. Like, like you could tell that like that wasn't the first time he had crap right there. So it was just like over and over, and that was like the spot. And I was like, oh man, there should have been some red flags when you like came over to this area. Like, why is it all white?
Yeah, and him and the other birds are like, oh, we got another one. Here he comes. Is he gonna step right there? He is. He's right in that spot. Let it fly. Man.
I remember one time I went to a Linkin Park concert, and somebody threw up on the steps, and I was so excited because people kept walking down the steps and slipping like head over heels on the throw up, and I was losing it the whole time. I was like full of joy. I'd be like, I see somebody like come down the stairs, and I'm like, yeah. And they'd be like, what? And I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking back on it, it was a total D move, but like it was so funny at the time. I was just like, just kept it. And then one guy came down the stairs and he sat down, like he just like sat down, like it was like watching the concert, and I'm losing my mind. I'm just like, you sat down. And then this guy like
okay. Like you slip and you fall on it. You're lucky enough just to not get hurt to start off with. And then you realize you're covered in puke. And was this at the beginning or towards the end of the concert? Because I couldn't imagine staying in there for hours after that.
It was just the middle of Linkin Park set, and it was just like, but it was beautiful. The guy came up to me afterwards, like he was like 3 years back, and was just like, I was watching you the whole time. Like you were filled with joy of watching those people fall.
You were like, no, you completely shut off the concert, and you're like, I'm just watching this.
Yeah, I love this. I was like my own little prank show that like I wasn't part of, but I was part of it. That I could just, it was like America's Funniest Home Videos, but like in real life, the same video just kept playing. And I was like, this is everything to me. It's so funny. I had a thought this week, and this is kind of on topic of not what we're talking about, but the show itself. Do you think there's a point where ghosts aren't scared of other ghosts? Like once you become a ghost, are you immediately not afraid of ghosts? That's my high thought.
An interesting question. In fact, when Tana was on a couple of weeks ago, I was going to talk to her, because she talked about there being, ghosts in the house she grew up in, and then she and her sister moved next door, and then they had summoned the evil demons with the Ouija board, and that was the person. And I think she said they asked the person with the Ouija board if they knew what was going on with the person that was over, in their house, and they didn't seem to know or whatever. But you wonder, like, are they? We just assume, okay, well, they're the undead. They all live like in the same plane, for lack of a better word. It's like maybe they're in different planes of existence too, and they're like, well, I don't know, I didn't see that guy next to. There's somebody next to, you know.
It's they get scared.
Do they know each other? You know, are they familiar, or are they completely oblivious to what's going on because they're, you know, just kind of like with you know, multiple dimensions or, you know, things like, you know, they could be in their own little plane of existence and don't know that there might even be another ghost in the same house, you know?
Yeah. Like what if,
like I never really thought about that before.
Like a Victorian plane, and then there's like a guy wearing Jinko jeans and like frosted tips. It's like, there's a ghost here? What? Like a guy with bell. A guy with bell bottoms, like, that's so not chill. Like, just all these little layers of like scary people. But I was just thinking, I was just like, when you die, I mean, the whole idea, I feel like when you die, you don't really know it. So I guess it'd be like one of those things. You're like, what do you mean it's haunted? And I guess there's that movie, The Others, which I feel like explained ghosts in a way I've never seen before, which was they basically took the idea that their house was haunted, and then they find out at the end that they were the ghost, and that their house is being like, what's it called? Exercised, and like, so they're the dead ones, and the house itself, like, because the end goes to like a seance, and they're all like, if you're here now, and they're like, what? And it's this whole like 360 of like, oh no, they've been dead this whole time. That like kind of fifth on, I think, or not fifth on, whatever that movie was, Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. Yeah.
But so
because you wonder like what. You know what, because as it is, it's like, well, you know, whether you believe in, you know, heaven or hell or just nothing or some sort of afterlife, but it's like, how do these things get stuck here? And we just assume the ones that are here all kind of not necessarily know each other. Like, hey, Bill, what's going on? You know, but they, you know, they're all living in our plane of existence, so they all must be aware of each other. But maybe they're not. You know,
they could totally.
Totally.
From what I know about the human race is we're very stubborn. So maybe we're just too stubborn to die. We're just like, I'm not dead. Like, you're very much dead. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's stupid.
But I didn't want to. You know, I don't want to die.
Being a real Karen at this in this death. I'd like to speak to the manager. It's just God. So you're gonna, ma'am, you're gonna have to leave.
No,
do you know who my father is?
Well, you can go hang out at your old house for a while if you want.
Oh man.
Let me know when you change your mind.
Like, oh man, I guess it's boring here. Maybe I am dead. But I said that like maybe I was wrong.
You know, and then you wonder like if they're stuck in their own little, not time slip, but they're just like their own little era. Like I saw a while back, like at Gettysburg, video of a car driving through the battlefield at night. And, you know, Gettysburg, if you've never been there before, I know you guys were there last year. I've been there a couple times. That place is insane. You know, and I'm a huge history buff, so just even in the daytime, I'm totally fascinated by it. But at nighttime, it is spooky as hell. And
I would love to go there at night.
It showed, like in the video, them driving past some of the, you know, the cannons that are sitting right there by the road, and you see kind of like these apparitions, and they look like soldiers, and they look like they were loading the cannons and doing whatever their job was, you know, on the battlefield. It's like, are they stuck? Like they still think it's the battle, you know, and they're stuck in their own time, or are they just like, I'm here because I don't want to leave, but I see that car driving by and I see these people, or are they oblivious to that too, and they're literally just stuck doing their thing in 1865, you know.
They just time loop, and like that day ends or whatever, that like little blip ends, and they just restart their march or whatever, which is just like I guess like a purgatory. That sounds absolutely horrible. But I guess if you don't know, you don't know. You know, it's like, this is just any other day to me. No one told me yet because I'm too stubborn to die. Again, we're the worst race. we just need to go. I don't know of a lot of haunted like dogs. They're at peace with being dead. Never really hear that.
I've never heard anybody tell a ghost story that was like, my house is haunted by a group of wild dogs, you know.
Or like a parakeet. She's like,
I've got a guinea pig that terrorizes me at night.
Oh my gosh, that would be cutest little haunting.
Yeah.
Like if you listen real close, you can hear his little paws. Like, you're like, oh, this is the best.
Yeah, it squeaks when it's hungry, you know.
Yeah.
Although my kids used to have a guinea pig that passed away a few years ago that was like albino and had like red eyes. And I always used to always tease him, and I'm like, you can't look Polar right in the eyes because he'll steal your soul.
I know, that's terrifying.
It was like, I mean, they were bright red. I was like, that is weird.
Oh, poor albino things. They're always scary, but we love them just the same.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna share my birds. And we can kind of go from there. We'll go there and share. So I'm gonna start off with the easy lob, which I forgot I had that too. Oh, I'm so excited. Sorry, I was doing random research and I came across something I thought was kind of cool. So the shoebill stork is a dinosaur-looking thing, and I'm just gonna play this little because I find it absolutely terrifying.
Yeah,
and it just looks like a dinosaur. I'm sure anybody who knows about cryptids has done thorough research on this guy, but when he or she does their little like noises, it makes like a rat-a-tat-tat sound because it just knocks its like teeth together. It's just like, like that's not even doing it right. It's like it literally sounds like a machine gun going off because it's like a hammer. It's like, it's so cool. Oh man, they rule.
That bill is creepy looking. Looks like it's smiling at me.
I know. Like imagine, and the thing is, I need you to know this thing is the size of you. Like I don't think that this video is giving it enough like weight to how big this thing is. It's literally the size of a person. Like everything is even a small one. At least the one that I've seen before.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's just a dinosaur.
That was terrifying.
Yeah. Oh man, they blink sideways. Shut up. This thing. So we got really drunk with it. Yeah. I think now it's just playing whatever video was.
That's terrifying.
And then birds being the name of the season, you're gonna get a couple. This guy looks like a straight burn unit kid. The marabou stork, and basically this is just, it's a nice boy, but you'd never know it. It's one of those things if you saw in an alleyway, you'd be like, no, thank you.
You're like, this is the Freddy Krueger of birds.
Yeah. It just says bitch like 1,000 times. Like, you wanna be a bird, bitch. But yeah, they got a real weird look. And is that my head? Birds? I think I got sidetracked by something else when I was halfway through. But all birds are weird is what I found out, and nothing really crazy about them except for the shoebill was like the weirdest one. I just feel it's mainly because of its size, and it's just like it feels like it's a relic missing from like before time. I think this picture is definitely
it's eating a lot. I don't know, man. If that thing's as big as you say it is, that could be true.
Yeah, he's just hammering down. Maybe that's one of the ones that escaped.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I saw a video the other day of like a python. Like, of course, we're going back down to Florida. Like a Florida python that was like eating a deer. Like the deer basically was dead, but it was still in the process of swallowing the entire
wild.
Yeah, like that. So I think this thing probably is just trying to bite the monkey's head off, and then just take it piece by piece. It's probably not going to take it down whole, but that's weird. There's
actually what is it? There's still, at least I just checked before this. Well, it just kind of came up in a feed that there's still 6 of those monkeys like left in the jungle or in the forest, like running around in North Carolina or wherever it was. I forget.
I think it was South Carolina. I think.
Yeah, I was like, go monkeys, go! But going back to where you said something about Florida, I found something that was very exciting, and there's a skunk ape headquarters.
What?
In Florida, and absolutely need to go on a road trip here.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god, I love it so much. There's a little gift shop. I was just doing some research, and like the people that own it are like real big skunk ape enthusiasts, and I was just like, heck yeah, dude, let's go.
Well, and our picture might be on the wall. We're gonna go to the door to pay admission, and they're gonna no, you are not allowed.
Yeah, I'd be like, we heard what you said about this. Like, we're just here to crap on this place.
Yeah.
But it's such a Florida vibe though. Like right out front, it just gave me like, oh, this looks like a place you see on the side of the road, and you're like, stop the car now, we're going in. But yeah, there's a whole headquarters, and it's a as far as I can tell, it's like a research facility. I just kind of came across it very quickly, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's
How
crazy.
weird.
Does
But
it say
yeah,
what
so,
city it's in, or where it's near?
Yes. Let's back up what I'm looking at. Stand by, everyone. Stand by is in. Oh, I can't say that. Miami. Trail. Oh wait.
It's too small. I can't read it.
This is ruining my. I'm very bad at pronouncing things, but Ochapo.
Ochapi? Yeah.
Do you know where that is, or are you just saying?
No, I don't know where it's at. I think it's there's like Ochapi and Kissimmee and all those places like that.
Oh, okay.
Down between like Tampa and Orlando, and I've only been down that way once. Most of the time, I'm down in like Miami or Fort Lauderdale. The times I've been down there.
But yeah, they got that. They got that there. You can run across that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just wild.
Yeah.
So
I mean, birds in and of themselves are pretty much just dinosaurs still, left over.
I mean, the more I'm keep finding out more and more that like a lot more dinosaurs just have feathers on them, which is nice, cool looking. I'm not gonna lie, but it's how it is, and that's fine. Yeah,
they're
so
much
I'm thinking,
scarier with their leathery skin.
I know. Yeah, it comes at you with. I mean, I guess it's just terrifying if it's huge. And you're just like, But I wonder if like the brontosaurus is like furry then. Like if it's just a big furry dude, because that'd be kind of cool if it had like a little bit of fur. Because I guess I don't know if we don't know that, like, right? If it didn't or not, I don't really know how all that breaks down. And I want to keep the dinosaurs kind of pure and what I thought they were. I'm fine with the way a raptor is supposed to look now, and that's fine. But I don't want that to infect, because it doesn't matter. I just want them to look the way they look.
Like if all of a sudden they look different than what we thought, it's like now I got to change the way I think about all this stuff.
Yeah, but like, where am I gonna use that? That fact.
Yeah. Speaking of like prehistoric things, I read the other day. Like every now and again, especially like up in Russia and the upper parts of Canada and stuff. As the snow melts and the permafrost, they get down into that, they find like woolly mammoths and things like that, that are kind of frozen. They're not even bones or anything. It's like the full on thing. They found, and I guess this happened a couple years ago, but they're just now talking about it a lot more. But they found like a 3-week-old baby saber-toothed tiger.
Ooh,
that still has fur and everything. It's not like bones. I mean, it's a full-on frozen thing. I saw it on the news the other day, and I was like, "That's crazy.
That's rad." I'm gonna look at the
most recent news. Pull it up.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me see that. Where's the picture though? I found the news story, but it didn't show the picture, or at least it didn't come up right away. It's just.
Yeah, I saw it like on the news, and they had a picture, and we're talking about it, and I think they said they found it in like 2000, and they've been studying it and doing stuff, and
like, I saw.
That's crazy.
Got it up. Hold on. I wish I knew this quick. I always do this in actual meetings too. I'm like, I'll do it. Wait, give me a minute. Sure. Okay. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't add beforehand. Of course it does. Get out of here. Hey. Hold on.
But but I mean, like, they find woolly mammoths, and that's cool in and of itself. But it's like, they find those often enough. You hear about it all the time, or every couple of years. It's like, oh yeah, we know what woolly mammoths look like. They look like big furry elephants, but like to see like a baby saber-toothed tiger, like full on in its normal existence, just kind of petrified, frozen.
I mean, they have that like petrified ankylosaurus that's like really cool. That like you can see that one is the way they thought it would look. It has like the spikes and everything, and like the kind of leathery. Oh my god! Yeah, the fur's still there. I'm surprised it hasn't broken down. How does the? Oh yeah, because it's in the ice. I'm like, how does it stay on there?
Yeah, and I don't know. Once it's out of the ice and it's thawed, what they do at that point to,
Oh, yeah, I guess if
keep
you're
it.
listening to this, I just forget people aren't watching.
Yeah, they're probably telling us exactly why they did it, but it's more fun for us to speculate. But yeah, I mean, it's not that. I mean, it's a bit like the size of a cat. You know, it's like
yeah. I mean,
it's not that big.
It's maybe like a small dog, like maybe a little bigger than a dog, but yeah, it's got most of the fur is all there. There's some tissue. All right, now it's going to go another trick. We get it. I hate that. But it's wild. Oh my god. I want them to find way more than we have. I want there to be so many more. Yeah.
Well, I imagine as Antarctica, keeps, every year it's like there seems to be a little more and more grass and things showing up down there. I think you wonder how long before we find pyramids and frozen animals and stuff, down there. Like what's all underneath all that ice that,
Yeah, I don't know if we want to find out though, because once we find out, that means things are going bad. Yeah. When I think I always keep seeing this thing is like there's flowers in Antarctica. It's this saying of like, things are going bad, and even though there's beauty in that, it's scary. Right, I think that's what it means at least. But yeah. I wanted to share some stories too that I thought were really funny that I found that are just weird. So this one kind of relates to what we do because it involves a place called Yeti's, but it's Yeti's Pizza. So Yeti's Pizza in Wisconsin. A bunch of people started getting sick, and they realized that they had cooked the pizzas in a bunch of oil, and but the oil they found out they ran out of the regular oil they have, and so instead they went down the street to go get oil, and they didn't realize at the time, but they used hemp oil or hemp seed oil, or what was it? Food grade hemp. And a bunch of people, because it's basically the active ingredient in marijuana, and they were making pizza with it. So, but just people are getting insanely sick from marijuana pizza. I mean, hemp isn't really marijuana, but over 60 people. And then in additional pizza news, is there was if you order the number
this
40,
week in pizza news.
This week in pizza news in Dusseldorf, Germany, they covered a drug ring where if you order the number 40, you would get cocaine, cannabis, and at the window. You could literally just order that, and then you get all those fun things. So listen, they go hand in hand.
What number?
Number 40.
Number 40. Okay.
Yeah, write that down. Number 40. Yeah. So. Yeah, that was in pizza news. In whale news, we are monster.
We need to get the old fashioned.
Dude, I've been fighting my urge
today in whale news.
I've been fighting my urge to get a soundboard, and you don't even know it. One came up on TikTok, and I almost bought it. I was like, I should get I just want to get the Price is Right, like. And then like a few more sounds that I really enjoy. Little John saying, "Yeah."
We could do the whole show like old timey, just be like, and today we saw. There was a new Bigfoot sighting in South Carolina.
That piece of crap skunky coming up in Florida. So in whale news,
at the Ohio Bigfoot conference, we found out.
Yeah, bring our boys home. Fight for the troops. Fight the commies. The Reds are coming. Oh my god, it's my favorite thing to do. I go to my daughter's volleyball game, and I'll sit there with this other guy, and I call my daughter the Crimson Hammer because like she's got red hair, but she's really good. And I'd be like, the Crimson Hammer coming up. She's had a rough morning this morning. She wouldn't put her coat on. And I was like, we'll see how she does on the court. Oh, she put it over. All right. And then we do like a whole thing for like 45 minutes.
She's not allowed to fight her brother at home, but she can kick ass on the court.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, boys. Rally the troops. Out of control. So I wanted to say I just tallied some like weird stories over the last 2 months. I was trying to find Bigfoot news, but like really, it's all this stuff just happened and it happens randomly. But instead, on October 12th, at a SeaWorld, a shamu had are they all shamus? No, the killer whale had defecated into the pool.
I saw this video.
He proceeded to cover everyone in the audience in his excrement. His or hers.
Everybody in the splash zone got themselves a nice big surprise.
Yeah. Which, by the way, speaking of, wait, were you there? No, it was me and Scott hanging out. We Googled what a killer whale's manhood looks like, and that might be Loch Ness. I think that's Loch Ness. It was insane. I was like, what? It looks like a tentacle. It's just like, it was like coming out of the water. Like, that's upsetting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would assume that with it being so large, it probably,
yeah,
everything about it is large. But yeah,
yeah.
That took a weird turn real quick.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen. Yeah, I can't help what I Google. I mean, I guess I could.
Yeah. The best part about the Shamu video is they're all there excited. They know they're going to get splashed. And then like 10 seconds beforehand, you see it go in the water and it just looks like a cloud of brown, but you know what it is.
Yeah.
And then it goes under the water. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's time for the splash. And then that whole family like it's soaked, and that little kid like turns back around and looks at the camera and it's just like
have you ever seen video of like what is it a hippopotamus just doing that like thing? If you guys don't know, it basically makes a fan with its tail. It just like shoots all over the crowd.
It's a wood chipper basically.
Yeah, it just goes everywhere.
Don't be anywhere near the backside of a hippo because you're gonna. It's gonna be awful.
You're gonna regret your life choices the moment because it just goes. I mean, luckily for most of the time when I see it, there's like they're behind like a glass, like they're not behind like a pulled situation at like a zoo. But like every time it's funny because like everybody's like, "Oh, what's he doing?" And then it's just like,
yeah, and it's not like, oh, there's just a little bit. I mean, hippos are huge,
yeah.
What they
do is huge,
and it gets chopped up into tiny pieces real quick and gets just thrown everywhere, and there's just buckshot everywhere.
Oh
yeah,
God,
I mean that's why the zoos are so fun. I mean, even to this day, my kids are in college and we go to the zoo and my wife gets so annoyed because the three of us sit there and giggle when we see the elephants poop and stuff. It's like, she's like, I mean, really, come on. I'm like, what? It's funny. Look how big.
Yeah, like when you're looking at like the elephant thing, and then all of a sudden you're like, why does the elephant have 5 legs? You're like, oh my gosh, it's insane. It's just nonstop.
The zoo.
There's actually in possible other whale news, but they don't know. In Wales, what was it? Oh, God, I'm looking for one. Which one was it? I didn't say where it was from. Anyway, they're these like plate-sized like white things were like showing up, all like washing up on the shore, and they think it's like whale blubber, just like showing up on the shore, just from like a dead one, but they're just like washing up. I don't know. But
where's it coming from?
In a second story, where's this one at? In Sydney, Australia, beachgoers are finding these little black balls that are washing up on shore, and they're like, "Oh, what are these?" Whatever. They found out that they're fatbergs. You know what a fatberg is?
Yeah.
Fatberg is like all the stuff that we flush down. It's like a clogged drain, but it's a big fat clogged drain, and it's basically all of our fat and like hair product or all of our products and stuff, and just and crap. I mean, it's literally just like all the gross things you could think of congealed into like a impenetrable jelly that they have to literally like throttle through, like so and they're pretty prevalent in like cities and stuff like that, but they're called fatbergs. And they're like it's a big problem because everything's just like, just think about like a drain that's clogged. You have to like clean it out, but this is like the way more extreme version. They have to just go bananas on it. So yeah, these are just like little balls that are just like it's just coming out. So gross. We're so gross.
or going back to whales when they beach themselves and they get full of gas, so then they like explode.
Oh yeah,
that's
dude.
So gross.
It's so crazy. I bet that smells terrible. I mean, fish in general smell bad. But I can't imagine.
Did
just
you
like
ever see
sitting
that
there.
old video? I think it's from the 70s up in like Oregon or Washington or something out on the beach.
No.
And this gigantic like blue whale show. I mean, it was like one of the, the real big ones, and they were trying to get it off the beach and they didn't want to try to chop it up. And so they're like, we'll just put some dynamite in it and we'll blow it up and it'll turn into small pieces. And then the birds will just eat it.
It's so
And
funny.
they put way too much dynamite in it. And people would move back. It's on video. It's like a news story. And it exploded. And it didn't get into as small pieces as I thought. Like huge chunks of this thing were flying and were like smashing through car windows like a quarter mile away. And there was just stuff everywhere. It was it's and the film is like from a distance. They're zoomed in on it, but they're not that close. And this thing is just boom, and it just chunks of whale flying across the horizon.
We learned a valuable lesson that day.
Like, at least we don't have to haul it away now.
Yeah, I guess it's there and it's there and it's there. Oh,
it was everywhere.
It's so funny. Oh, I guess you only make that mistake one time, right? Like,
yeah,
you go like, oh yeah, don't fill it with dynamite because that's a very like uncontrolled situation.
Because even when they finally do, get full of gas and they burst, it's not that crazy, because the whole body doesn't explode. Just it blows a hole, stuff starts falling out. It's just gross and stuff, and sometimes they're they catch some whale and they're going to take it back and use it for food and they're hauling it on like a semi truck and then it just starts like busting open all over the side of the highway or something. But it's not literally like flying through the air for a quarter mile, landing on top of cars and stuff.
Somebody's like at their house just like, gosh, that was my problem. I just saw a video or I saw a photo of like, this is our entire bodies, and it was like the brain and then like the nerve endings that like run down the spine, and like it just looked like a little alien, and I was just like, it made me like have like one of those like weird high thoughts where you go like, are we just like a little alien inside of like a meat and bone like mech suit? Because it's literally like just the brain and then these little like blah, 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 little tentacles, and I'm just like, they're just like on there, and then I like move it around. So like, it's not weird to think that really, because it's just odd, but that's all we are. We're like not much, and then everything else is just like in protection of those things, like like the meat's there to kind of stop it, and all the organs are there to keep it going. But they're all in operation.
Armor. Yeah.
We're just armor for that weird little alien that lives on top.
I mean, we're like a Terminator, we have this alien inside of us, and we have this exoskeleton that's covering us up to make us look normal. Otherwise, we would just be terrifying.
It'd be so terrifying. This little lumpy dude, Trang from Ninja Turtles, just like, I'll get those turtles. Don't hit me. Oh man. All right. Well, I think that's all the random little stories I had. I don't have anything else. I don't know. This is a solid this is our Sweatpants special, just kind of hanging out. It's probably, if you're listening to this the day it drops, what is it? It's I can't think. It's after Thanksgiving, so maybe you'll be like me
on Friday, Black Friday. Yeah.
Black Friday. Maybe you're out Black Friday shopping and you're doing that whole thing, and I hope you get a TV. If you're not getting a TV, here's a little pro tip: there's nothing out there for you. There's nothing that's on sale.
Yeah,
that's the way it works. Is they bump the price up and then they bring it down right before Black Friday, so you're not getting a deal. So whatever you think you're getting a deal of, it doesn't exist anymore. Just shop like you regularly would. Don't trample anybody to Best Buy at 5 a.m. It doesn't matter anymore.
It's kind of sad that they don't really even do that anymore, because with everybody mostly shopping online now, what little sales they had, there used to be everybody fought each other going into Walmart and Target and all that kind of stuff.
The stories afterwards
they don't even do it. Crazy. In fact, Target's not even open on Thanksgiving anymore. It's kind of went back to the way it was before it got totally insane. It's like, the stores were closed on on Thanksgiving just so you could spend time with your family. It wasn't all about, consumerism. That would be on Friday, but like Black Friday started, and it kept moving up to like Tuesday, and then now it goes all through Cyber Monday, and it's like,
Yeah, just participate in Cyber Monday and call it a day, and you don't have to do anything else. Just get it all over with. You're not really getting a deal. You'll maybe spend like, actually, I did find some deals, but they were from like a couple months ago, and I'm saving like $10. So those are what you're gonna see. You're not gonna save like $500 to on a TV. That just doesn't exist anymore. And plus, now like TVs are like what, like they're like a bucket of beer at this point. Like they cost like nothing for like a TV.
Yeah.
So, so I mean, I have like 5 flat screens in my house. That's not a flex. They cost like $30. The ones I have, at least, they're really, really cheap ones. But you can get them for. I remember like lugging my huge like friggin' bulbed one. I can't what it's called, the tubed one, to college and like all over the place. That thing was like a literal boulder that weighed like 100 pounds, and just like placing that over something, and it took up like 99% of that like rack, like whatever I sat it on. And I was just like, this is the height of luxury.
And now you get like a 70-inch TV and it weighs like 6 pounds, you know.
Yeah, and you move it from like the basement to the upstairs if you're having like a football game like party or something. It's like, oh, let me just pick this whole TV up and bring it upstairs. It's like not the same. Oh man, it's cool to live where we are. I imagine like someday we can just kind of like cast to the wall. That's the dream, is to be like, oh, let's just open. But,
or at least,
we'll know when we're there.
Yeah, I mean, and they have those now, but the quality isn't that great. But I mean, it's still pretty cool. I've been to a couple parties where it's like you just cast on the side of a garage, or you cast on, a wall.
It still has to be dark.
Yeah,
it still has to be dark though.
And it's still cool. Like if you're sitting in a pool or a hot tub and you got a movie on or something, it's still pretty awesome. But it's like, if you're gonna like use that as your actual television, it's still still has a ways to go. At least for the stuff that I look at, not that I'm super techy or anything.
Yeah, I want to watch Jaws in the pool really bad. That sounds like a fun time. Just like do that whole thing. Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, you have a good holiday, and I hope everybody else out there had a holiday. The soup is closed, but you know what? We're still serving spookies over the holiday, and we'll talk to you next week. If you guys have a cool story, you want to share it, monstersouppodcast@gmail.com. We'll have you on the show or just talk about it. And if you want to check out anything else, check out Untold Radio at all the places that it's available. All right, man. See you later.
Right. See ya.
Peace.